Hi, my name is Suzy Brooks, and I'm a third grade teacher in Falmouth, Massachusetts. I'm entering my 8th year in the teaching profession, and I always have magic marker all over my hands, and my students are always on my mind. I'm here to talk to you about the Whole Child Initiative, where every child is going to be, not believed to be, healthy, safe, engaged, supported, and challenged. And I don't have enough time to talk to you about all the 5 tenets. So today I'm only going to talk to you about how I believe that every child in every school, in every community across the globe should be engaged. Because if you don't like what you're doing, you're not going to learn anything. And being engaged allows you to learn something to carry it forth so that the next teacher has something to build on. Let's face it, we're not in your anymore. Did any of you go to school in your? All right, I know that there was a reunion recently. It's a lot of fun. Anyways, this photograph was taken in the school that I teach in, and I can tell you that the classrooms don't look like this anymore, and the students don't learn like this anymore, and I certainly should not teach like the teachers in your. Gone are the days of creating a grocery shopping list where you check off all of the curriculum standards, and at the end of the year you say, I did it all. I covered the material. Instead, I create a prescription where I try to take those curriculum standards and present them in a way so that my students can build on that knowledge and learn to mastery. It's a crazy idea. So that I can send them on to the next teacher with confidence. And I can tell you that engagement is my secret ingredient in those prescriptions. So someday, my cute little tiny third graders are going to have to look at these really complex texts, and they're going to have to compare and contrast and do all kinds of crazy things with them. But how are they ever going to be able to compare and contrast 2 totally different texts and compare characters or settings or themes if they don't know what compare and contrast means? And then on top of it, how am I supposed to use reading to teach reading skills and strategies if some of them still really can't read yet? So I decided that this year I would use images to teach those same skills. So do you think that a student could compare how this swimming pool is similar to a swimming pool they've seen before? And do you think that they'd be able to articulate how this swimming pool differs from a swimming pool that they've seen before? And they absolutely can. And do you think that drawing conclusions is a really hard skill for third graders? But third graders, do you think that they'd be able to say how these children feel about that cicada? They absolutely can say that. I think we named this cicada, actually. And predicting, do you think that they could make a prediction? Whether they predict a handful of chiclets or they predict that there's going to be a complete meltdown, which there wasn't, they're definitely engaging in the material in a very meaningful way. And what if we cover all of the different reading skills and strategies using images so that when they do attack it in a reading material, they're able to understand what it means? And if we do it for 180 days, a different picture every single day so that they repeat those same skills, do you think that they'll be engaged? Do you think that they'll be able to apply it? Well, I can tell you after only 4 months, they were absolutely able to take those skills and strategies and apply it to what they were doing in their reading selections. And then, if you share it online, you can have thousands of people who are also interested in learning things and doing them, learning to do new things in new ways. And so with all of these followers on Pinterest, I was able to share my ideas because I can't keep that to myself. It's actually working. Taxation without representation. If you want to be engaging, you need to go way beyond the textbook. And for me, it means becoming Queen Suzy. And I meet my students at the door one morning every year, and I take them by surprise. They don't see it coming. And I furnish them with the currency of the colony, which happen to be jelly beans. They like those. And also a totally unfair and ridiculous tax structure. What do you mean? I have to pay to sit in a chair? So they try to spend the next 3 days trying to get out of paying taxes. And so they give up life's luxuries. And inevitably, we end up having a revolution, and that's when I know that they've totally got it. That's when I know that they've learned how the colonists had to go through all that awfulness. And then I can tell that they've been engaged. If they're not engaged, they're not going to learn it. And then I share it online because you have to do that. So this one I share with my families, and then my teaching becomes transparent, and they know what I'm doing with their children every day, and they need to know that. And it engages my families. With family engagement, you can do anything. Fluency, we all teach fluency. It's an essential skill in life, and I used to just use these really cute little lists, and it gives me all the things I'm supposed to teach, and it was enough to keep me busy for a couple of months. It was enough until the idea for books for babies crawled into my brain this year, and I decided that we would try something more, which scared the crap out of me. We sent a letter to Jim Trelease and asked his permission to be able to share his knowledge and also to be able to share his references with others. And then we researched, why is it important to talk to kids and to read to babies? Why should we read to tiny little babies? And then we took some time to write about our own reading experiences. So Maisie writes, when I was still in my mom's abdominal, my daddy read to me all the time. I can't remember what he read, but I can totally remember what his voice sounded like. So they all wrote about their reading experiences. We took those experiences, and we also took the research that they did, and we wrote 5-paragraph letters to new parents saying how important it is to read to their new babies. 23 third graders, 23 5-paragraph letters. That's a lot. And then we ordered books from Scholastic. I used all my points, so if anyone has any extra, let me know. I need more for next year. And we read and we read and we read until our voices were hoarse and our eyes fell out, and then we knew that we were ready. We recorded each children's voice reading their story onto CD. We created a compilation of all of their readings and burned them all, and then we decorated gift bags and put the book and the CD and the letters and the brochures and an introduction to the project into the bag, and then put 23 third graders and 23 bags of wonderfulness onto a big yellow school bus, and we drove to Falmouth Hospital, where they graciously accepted us, gave us a tour, and showed us a real baby. And then afterwards, they took our donations, and they were so thankful. And I can tell you that it wasn't just my kids that were engaged. It was also a whole lot of other people. It was way more than a fluency lesson. Teaching is an isolating profession. You all know that, right? Well, today I want to change that. From this point going forward, it is no longer teaching is an isolating profession. It was an isolating profession. So that's the mantra that I want you to bring forth tonight. And share online. I don't care what it is that you're doing in your classroom. You need to share it with others. And there are amazing things going on in classrooms all over Massachusetts, and you should be sharing with your families and your communities and also with your profession, and it will better the whole child in the end. So whether you have a beautiful computer lab, or you have a smartboard hanging on your wall, or you have one-to-one computers in your classroom, it doesn't matter what cool tools you have. It really matters that you are engaging as a teacher. So go pick out a ring, because engagement matters. My name is Suzy Brooks, and you are a very good audience. Thank you.